Yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. I know something you don't. Batman. 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 Yo, it's your favorite content creator, sports creator, your favorite TikTok, your favorite YouTuber, X, or whatever you want, all the above. I wear many hats. We got a lot to talk about. Yesterday was just a crazy day in sports in general. W, not W. Women's sports, college, some insane stat lines, some things I ain't never, ever seen in my life. Boy, I tell you. We had some crazy things happen in the NBA, some things in the NFL to talk about. We got a great game. Well, it was a great game for me being the Pats fans, the Pats versus Jets, and we already know them Jets is mucho caliente basura. That plane is just crashing. It's over. That plane's on. It's bursting the flames. It's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into the sports talk today. The first thing we're gonna talk about. Let me share my screen right now. Nico Collins got fired, and now it looks like the Mavericks are clean housing. It's time for them. They're clean houses, basically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you have a guy like Cooper Flag on your team, you don't fit. You don't after this year. You don't have a first round pick. It's being controlled by other teams. You're basically rebuilding dirt. Dallas fans are down bad right now. The Mavericks is looking trash. The Cowboys, we ain't even gonna touch about them because they mucho galente basura, big basura at that. Then you got the Rangers. They weren't good. They missed the post. It's just a bad day for sports. All Texas got right now is Texas A&M college football. They out here, one of the best teams in the nation. And they got Texas, another one of the best teams in the nation, even though I think Arch is overrated as a quarterback. He's not as good as people think he is. But that's neither here nor there. But let's get down to this Mavericks. So the Mavericks have discussed blowing up the roster. As for what's next, I'm told that Mark Cuban, the Mavs minority owner who was exiled from basketball operation by Harrison, is back at the table. I'm also told that the radical roster change have been discussed by Dallas' new brain trust. Big change could be coming to Dallas. So like I said in my stream earlier this week, Nico was an scapegoat. Let's just put that on the table right now. He's following the Dumonts. The Dumonts were upset. If you know about the politics in Texas, they wanted a casino down here. The NBA and state officials said, no, nice try. Not happening. It's a very conservative state. They don't believe in gambling, casinos, and all that. The Dumonts come from casino business. That's where they come from. They buy the team from Mark Cuban. They really don't know nothing about basketball. They barely know anything about sports. Then they said, okay, so we can't build a casino here. Okay, we're going to relocate to Las Vegas where we have casinos or could build a casino. NBA said, no, nice try. You're going to stay exactly where you're at and you're going to make it do what it do. So Dumont said, all right, now watch this. I got something for y'all. Now I'm going to tank this franchise, quote unquote. So overnight, we get breaking news. Luka Doncic traded for Anthony Davis. Now, there's a lot of conspiracies behind this. I agree with some of them. I do believe that the NBA did rig the lotto for the Mavs to get number one. They basically sacrificed Luka. Luka was a pawn on the board. They said, hey, LA, we need ratings. The NBA ratings are down. LA is a big market. You need star power. So we're going to trade Luka over here, pair him up with Bron in the LA spotlight. And in return for you, Dallas fans, y'all get number one pick. Y'all get Cooper Flag, a generational talent, a raw prospect. Right now, it ain't looking too good. VJ Edgecombe is looking better than him. But yeah. So with that being said, excuse me, that happens. So with that happening, you trade Luka, a top 3 player in the league, top 4, a top 5, definitively top 5 player in the league. Boom. You ship him out for AD, who's a top 10 player in the league. So you throw in, the Lakers throw in Max Christie and some other pieces. I forgot who else. I think it was and something else. So that happens. So you fast forward since AD has been on the Dallas Mavericks. I believe he only played because he was traded last season. He played no more than 34 games, I believe. I don't know the off the top of my head how many games he played, but I believe he only played 34 games since being traded to Dallas. Which, as we know, street clothes Davis. His body is breaking down. We see this. Since being on the Mavericks, he played 9. Oh, he only played 14 games since being on the Mavericks. 14 games, which is not good. He has played probably 10%, give or take, 10 to 15% of games. So he hasn't been available. But when he's on the court, he looks like a top 10 player, one the best two-way player in the league, one of the best defenders, if not the best defender. Is you can argue it. It's up to you what you value and who you think is better. So AD gets hurt again. You fire. We fast forward to this year. Kyrie's hurt. He got hurt. Kyrie's hurt. You don't have Kyrie on your roster. AD's hurt. And we know how it goes with AD and his injuries. So your two star players get hurt in the season. Derek Lively's been banged up. So Nico never got to see a full, healthy Dallas Mavericks team. That did not happen at all whatsoever. So we don't know what a fully healthy Dallas team would look like because they were hurt and dinged up. So now management is looking like we have Cooper Flag. We have Jason Kidd. What does the rest of this roster look like? How are we going to make this not even a contending roster, a competitive roster? How are we going to make this a competitive roster in the NBA? How are we going to do that? So now Mavs fans are just scrapping up the season. They're just calling quits. They don't even care. They don't want no parts of this. Management's looking like we traded away Luka. We have AD. We have Kyrie. We have this young talent, Cooper Flag, who's going to take some time to develop. We don't own no picks until 2034, 2035, or 2033. So we're like 5+ years basically without picks. How can we make a contending team? Your two best assets is Anthony Davis and Kyrie. You can still get value for AD. AD still has value in this league. I believe you get 2 first-round picks for AD. I think he's worth 2 first-round picks or first-round picks and some players. Some teams I think should call for AD because, as it gets closer to trade deadline, teams are going to start to panic. The teams that should be trading for AD is on the brink of a championship. They're like one player away. But when you trade for AD, health is always going to be an issue and a problem. We know this. It's just name of the game when it comes to AD. If I'm the Rockets, I'm calling in Dallas. I said, listen, I have KD on my roster. I need a point guard. I could use a point guard or AD, either or. Shoot, I might even try to get both of them. Why not? But I'm calling for AD or Kyrie. I need a point guard. I'm going with Kyrie. I said, hey, what do y'all want for Kyrie? I got Shepard, Jabari Smith, and picks. Come on. Let's make something happen, Captain. You feel me? We got to make something happen. We got to get something shaped. I'm calling AD. I'll get AD plus KD plus Amen Thompson plus Steven Adams. That just bolsters up my defense even more. Now, you got Sagoon. So, I'm calling for AD or Kyrie. Kyrie, I'm definitely calling the Mavs for. We're going to work something out. Another team I think should call for AD, the Miami Heat. Pair him up next to Bam. I think that will bolster up their roster a lot. It will help offensively for them and defensively. I'll probably move off of Tyler Hero. Jaime Jaquez, I might move off him. Who else is on that roster that I could think of that you might be willing to give up for AD? Let me look at their roster right now. Look at certain pieces. Uh, Shoot, I might even try to call for Bam. You feel me? I might. I don't know yet. But I might call for a package that, shoot, I might even try to get Khalil Ware. I might call for Khalil Ware. See if they want to come off of Jokic or Hami Jaquez. And we're definitely getting Tyler Hero. Yeah, give me Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, yeah. You're going to have to give me Tyler Hero. Yeah, I need him too. I might. Yeah. So to rebuild this team, you're going to need young players. You're going to want players and picks. If you ain't talking young players and picks, it ain't nothing for us to talk about, for real, for real. It just is what it is. Another team I think AD can help, but I don't know if they want to go into this direction. I might call Chicago, but I think Chicago is going to keep its young players. A package of maybe Vooch, Kevin Herter, Isaiah Curl, Patrick Williams. These just players that I think you might want to come off of. Maybe Io DeSumo. I know you ain't gonna come off of Trey. I know you ain't gonna come off of Montez. Yeah. Try to get AD paired up with Josh Giddey. Uh Another player I might try to see if I get off their hands is a Kobe White. Huh. So that's a team I also think could use him. Uh but another problem you're gonna run into with Anthony Davis is his contract. He has a very large contract. So you gonna have to be giving up a lot for AD. So this season he's getting paid $54 million. Then next season he's getting $58 million and 26-27. Then in 27-28, this man's getting, he has a player option for $62 million, which you know he's gonna opt into. You know AD's 100% opting in that. No, players always opt in into their deals. There's no way he's leaving $58 million on the floor. Dallas Mavericks are also in another problem because now they're probably gonna hold that AD as long as they can and not have him play because they don't want damaged goods. So you can't even play him. But if I'm Dallas Mavericks, I'm also looking at the situation like this. I come off of AD, no problem. But if I'm having to sit down with Kyrie, I'm exploring options. I'm saying, hey, Kyrie, do you want to stay? Do you want to go? What do you want to do? If Kyrie wants to stay, we keep him. If he wants to leave, we let him leave. Kyrie's contract is not too crazy. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, it's something you could work with. You're giving Cooper Flag a point guard, which I think he's gonna need. I think Kyrie ultimately wants to stay in Dallas. I think he wants to retire here. I don't think he's contending. I don't think he wants to contend for a championship since he already won one. So it's not like he needs a ring. He has one. He has one of the greatest championships of all time rings. But if I'm looking at his contract, you're getting 36 mil this year. You owe 39 next year. And 27-28, you got 42 million player option. Obviously, you're gonna opt into that. So Kyrie would be, he's 33 right now. He'll be approximately about 35 years old of age, and you give him 42 million. So if I'm the Mavericks, I'm talking to him, hey, Kai, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in this rebuild mode that we're gonna be in, or do you want us to trade to a contending team? I don't know. I can't tell you what Kyrie's thinking. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know him personally. It's speculation at this point. I don't know what he's gonna do. All I know is the Dallas Mavericks are in a conundrum right now. Then if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, This season, everybody's contending for a roster spot right now. This whole team. If your name ain't Cooper Flag, you're competing for a roster spot. You're 100% competing for a roster spot. And I'm looking at this roster. The only players that if I were the GM of the Dallas Mavericks, Crayshot Josh was the J Sports. Crayshot Josh was the GM for the Dallas Mavericks. The only players I'm keeping is Cooper Flag is untouchable, obviously. I'm keeping Max Christie. I think he fits in. He's a nice 3-and-D type of guy. He fits into what we're trying to do. He's young. He can develop next to Cooper Flag. I am keeping 100%. I'm keeping Max Christie. Klay Thompson, you're gone. You're getting shipped. Hopefully, I get something for you. I'll gauge the market, see what I get for you, because you've been mucho caliente basura this season. Come hit a brick in the ocean right now. PJ Washington, I would take calls on PJ Washington, but for the most part, I would keep PJ Washington. Najee Marshall, we in a real build mode. I'm listening to calls. If I don't find something I personally like, gone. Brandon Williams, I think he's a good backup point guard. I don't think he's a starting caliber point guard, but I think he makes a decent reserve type of role point guard. So I would keep him. Caleb Martin traded. Daniel Gafford, I'm gauging the market for you, see what I get for you. Derek Lively, I'm trading the market for you. I'm gauging what I can really get for you as a young center in this league. When you look at Derek Lively, another player, injury prone. His rookie year, he only played 42 games. Last season, he played 29. This year, he only played 3. Yeah. You're competing for roster spots too, Lively. So if you mucho galente basura, guess what? I don't know if you are part of this rebuild right now. I don't know if I want to keep you on the up and up. So you're competing for a roster spot if I'm the GM too. So if I had to rank Dallas Mavericks' most valuable pieces right now, trade assets, AD, number 1. Kyrie, number 2, especially when I think the Rockets are going to come over a trade package for Kyrie. Because if they feel like they're one of the best teams and they're a contending team, you got to go get Kyrie because you have a point guard problem. Amen Thompson is not a point guard. I don't think he's a good playmaker and facilitator. I don't think he's good in the role that you're trying to force on him. Reed Shepard, same problem. The man is yum 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 oiki buffet on defense. Yum yum yum. That man can't guard a parked car in an open lot right now. So I'm calling for Kyrie. I think he'd be a great fit there. You get a guy who can a good offensive option, a solid defender. I think he's a good fit. But if I'm the Mavericks, you're not about to lowball me either. You got all these picks. You're going to have to give some of them up. And you got a lot of young talent, young players. You're going to have to come off some of them, homeboy. You got to give me a good trade package or a decent one for Kyrie. Yeah. So I have, obviously, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. Then their next best trade piece is probably a top, either Gafford or Derek Lively. I'll say Derek Lively because he's younger. Then you have Gafford. So those are like your trade pieces. You got to make something happen, Captain. Because your window's closing. Your window's not even closing because right now you're contending. You're not even contending. You're in rebuild mode. You thought you were going to be contending this year, but, things happen in life. So, yeah, you're basically in rebuild mode. And what do you do in rebuild mode? You try to get the best of what you got. The Mavericks are still in search of a GM. They don't have a GM. It looks like they're probably not going to have a GM until after the season in the summer, which is going to make things a little bit more tricky. Also, with Nico being gone, which makes this situation a little bit more interesting, what are the Mavericks going to do with Jason Kidd? Do you trade Jason Kidd? Not trade him. Do you fire him? because he's under the Nico regime, he's one of Nico's guys, or does the GM bring in one of his own? He says, "Hey, Jason Kidd, uh, you did a great job, but you're not one of my hires. I want to go in a different direction with this franchise. I want to start from scratch since we're going in total rebuild mode. I'm going in total annihilation." So that's going to be another interesting story to see. But yeah, Dallas Mavericks, man, interesting. Yeah, Clay need to get off this team because he been a boo boo. Uh, can we talk about Audie Crooks and how she had 43 points in 19 minutes of play? Let me say this again. The girl had 43 points and she only played 19 minutes. So basically, every minute she was in, she was getting a bucket. Now, I don't watch that much women college hoops, so I ain't going to sit here and try to lie to y'all or make up stuff that I don't know about. No, that's not what we about to do. But I saw this stat line on my feed, whatever you want to call it, the TL, the DL, whatever you want to call the thing. This girl is a problem. 43 points and 19 minutes to play. I saw a little bit of her highlights. She's giving me Zebo vibes. The girl is a post-up monster. I'm talking about bucket, bucket. I'm talking about she's put on a clinic on that low block. From the little highlights that I've seen, the girl has elite footwork down there. That's for sure, for sure. I'm talking about hook shots, fadeaway jumpers, fadeaway middies. I'm talking about the girl is a bucket. But shout out to her, because that's an impressive stat line. I don't care what sport it is, you playing that basketball. 43 points in 19 minutes of play is insane. And then it's elite efficiency because she only took 23 shots. And she made 18 of them. Shout out to her, Audie Crooks, man. She a hooper for real. Oh, and this Amazing Grace, 172-91. Never have I ever in my life seen a stat line like this. Not a stat line, a scoreboard. 172-91. By the way, they broke a record. That's the most points ever scored in college. 172. It's the fact that the other team had 91 points and still managed to lose. They almost scored 100 and still lost. Shout out to Grace College. And then we're going to look at the score sheet, because that's even what's more interesting. $172 points is insane. That's not even fair. Like, how do you allow to score 172 and set a collegiate record? Like, I just don't understand. You put up 172. Let's look at this. Where's it at? We're gonna look at the scoreboard, because this is insane, man. Never ever in my life have I seen somebody put up 172 points. What's she playing? They playing 2K on rookie? Like, come on, man. Let me see if I could share my screen to show you this insane stat line that they put up. I didn't put y'all on the stage. Shout out to Grace College, Indiana. I think they're a D3 school. First of all, scoring 47 points, scoring almost 50 points in 3 quarters is insane within itself. The lowest scoring they had was 30 in the third quarter. That's just insane work. That's just crazy. Let's see, Grace College. They just put on a scoring clinic. Almost every player scored double figures. Maddie Ponder had 34. Morgan Hoyk, sorry I mispronounced your name wrong, had 20. Braylon Terrell had 14. Becca Gert had 28. Abby Reiserman, 21. Please forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm a Hooked on Phonics kid, so there's that. Emma Sperry had 21. Paulo Fernandez had 12. Molly Long had 11. They shot 64% in the first quarter. Second quarter, it went up to 66%. Then third quarter dropped to 50%. And then the fourth quarter went up to 51. So this game was basically over before it started. They did shoot horrible from three. They took 44 free throws. That's insane. And made 40 of them. So this team, who they play? What's the name of this little school? Ohio Christian. Yeah, I don't even know. Your coach need to tell you a couple things. Some things. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. It's really interesting. 73 points off of turnovers. 73? How you get 73 points off turnovers? How that work? So that means every turnover, you just scoring a bucket, basically. Almost every bucket. How do you get 93 fast break points? That means as soon as the ball comes off the rim, they said, like clockwork. I'm talking about as soon as it comes off the rim, they throw the ball and hit, bucket. Y'all couldn't guard them in a fast break either? Man, y'all had a long night. And this is the most surprising stat to me. Out of all these stats on top of this, right? This is the most interesting stat for me. 98 bench points. You mean to tell me your second unit almost scored as many points, scored more points, actually, because you scored more points. The bench unit scored more points than the whole team at Ohio Christian. They had 98. This might be one of the greatest college teams I have ever seen in my life. I never witnessed a box score like this. My years walking on this earth. Like, I've never seen this before. Then your largest lead was 81 points. 81? That's what Kobe scored in an NBA game. The largest lead was 81. That's not even the worst and nastiest part about this whole box score. They led for the entire game. It was never tied once. There was no lead changes. I need to see the film on this game because this game is very Will Chamberlain-esque. You feel what I'm saying? This is some 1950s basketball. This is like Space Jam, except the monsters never got their powers. Because there's no way you never let the lead change was 0, and you never scored a tie now one time this entire game. 93 fast break points is crazy. 98 bench points is insane. Your second unit was basically starters for the first unit. Put up all, and your bench points outscored the team's total score because they only put up 93. Y'all put up 98 off the bench. And 100 points, triple digits in the paint. Who was in the paint? A whole bunch of jokers. Now, these had to be some Amazonian women playing some dwarfs. Like this only explanation for this game because I have no other explanation. Because me personally, if I'm Ohio Christian, we recruit. We got to recruit. Everybody got to recruit, man. We got to re-recruit because what type of a score is this? What is this? This team controlled everything. They didn't control nothing. Nada. This is just this. I never seen a box score like this. I thought this when I saw this on Twitter, I really thought that it was Photoshop. Somebody Photoshopped this. This was AI. This had to be AI. Because there's no way you just do things like this. Because this team never standed a chance. They dominated every area. Points off turnovers, dominated. Points in the paint, dominated. Second chance points, dominated. Fast break points, dominated. Bench points, dominated. Largest lead, dominated. Like, can y'all tell me what y'all did? Like, I just need to know. Was this team giving you any resistance? Because I think y'all allowed them to score 91 points. Y'all kind of got bored. Y'all were dominating so much. I said, we just going to spot y'all 91 points. Let's see what you could do. But shout out to Grace College, man. I don't know what division they're in, but they keep doing what they doing. I'm about to look up what division Grace College is. Let's see what this Google tell me. What division is Grace College? Shout out to Indiana, man. So they don't even have an affiliation. They're the NIIA. So they're not D1, D2, or 3-2. They're part of the National Christian College Athletic Association. One thing about them Christian schools, they know how to recruit. For sure, for sure. And I ain't gonna tell you a story. I might tell you a joke, but I ain't gonna tell you a lie. Because they must have been recruiting some world-class athletes. Because whoo-wee, I ain't never, ever seen a box score like that. Women's basketball ain't no joke, huh? They out here. That's a crazy 172 to 91. And shout out to Hannah Idaglo. I'm sorry I'm butchering her name. Some people have names that's very hard to pronounce. She had the most steals in college history. Not in D1, D2, D3, D4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you want to name. The girl had 16 steals. 16 steals. You know what that means? She was all up in them lanes. She said, snatchies, give me that. Give me that. She was a thief in the night. She was stealing everything. I know that team was scared to pass the ball with her. They said, she was all over the floor. 16 steals is insane. I don't even think players in the league can get 16 steals. Do you know how insane, how much skill that takes? Then she dropped 44-9, so she almost had a triple dub. She was hooping yesterday. Shout out to her. Because this right here is hooping. Shout out to her for hooping. Today is Thursday night football. As y'all know, we have the Patriots playing Jets. I'm going with my Pats, man. Shout out to the Patriots. There's a lot of injuries. Ramondre Stevenson's not playing for us. Garrett Wilson's not playing for the other team, for the Jets. So I expect a blowout. The points is 10.5. I will be betting the over on the points. But yeah. I'm out of here. Great show. Shout out to the 5 people who showed up for the stream, man. Y'all know to follow me. Make sure to show your friends, your enemies, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mother, your father, your uncle, your cousin. Tell your whole family. Y'all know where to find me. YouTube, Crazy Shot Josh Universe. TikTok, Crazy Shot Josh. I'm live there every day talking sports. And at Crazy Shot Josh _ talk sport. One more thing before we get out of here. Shout out to the Thunder because they're going back to back. Shay's the MVP. Best player in the world, baby. They gave BTA to the Lakers. I don't want to hear no excuses from Lakers fans. They shouldn't have any. We played without Jalen Williams didn't play. One of our starters, J-Dub. One of our best players didn't play. Who else didn't play for us? Aaron Wiggins didn't play for us either. So there's no excuses. I know LeBron was out, but y'all got BTA. The best defense in the league by far, ain't close. But shout out to the Thunder. They're going back to back. Shy's MVP. The man's been on a scoring tear, sitting out fourth quarters. How you put up 30 and sit out in the fourth quarter? Crazy. Luka played horrible. Yeah, that team was just mucho caliente basura. Shout out to them. Cason Wallace is one of the best defenders in the game. Future D-boy on our team. Shout out to the Clippers because we about to have their pick because they mucho caliente basura and they are in a downward spiral. Shout out to them. So we about to have their pick too. But I will see y'all next week. Oh, excuse me. I'll see y'all next week. Peace, love, and blessings. I hope y'all enjoy.